Hey everyone, it's Josh here for draftmagic.com. We're doing some Cube. Cube is awesome. I've just recently found out because I've never done it before this weekend. I've done a bunch practice. Um, not my finest format. I'll admit it. We're in an 8-4. Probably don't belong here, but man, this format's fun. First pick, I'm going to take Survival of the Fittest. This card's so good. And I don't see anything else super powerful. Like, you can go with like a Terminate, Snuff Out, just like removal. Wall of Roots is fine. Other than that, I don't really see any, like maybe like Giant Solifuge would be okay. But I like Survival. Survival I think is the most powerful. I'm not, and I don't want to be drafting like boring mono red. I tried it. It was good. It was super boring and it's such a waste of cube drafting. Just like autopiloting into mono red. Uh, hmm. All right. So this pack has a bunch of more exciting spells. So off the bat, what are we looking at? We're looking at. There's a Sorin. I don't know if I'm going to take a Sorin here. I think I'm looking more towards like Primal Command. Shriekmaw goes well with the survival. Decree of Justice is one of my favorite cards. Can't really go wrong with Decree of Justice, can I? Yeah, I'm gonna take the Decree. There's also like Breeding Pool, and I've sort of noticed that you can take these dual lands pretty high just because the cards are so good in the format that you're always gonna have enough playables, and so you don't have to worry about not reaching your 23 cards or whatever. So you can spend some earlier picks on fixing to be able to play the best cards you possibly can. But I think I want to take the Decree of Justice. I just like this card too much. All right. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at Gaia's Cradle might be good. Just like ramp up there with the Cradle. Uh, Goes well with the Decree of Justice, I guess. And then maybe we wheel a Woodfall Primus or something. Something to ramp into. There's also like Phantom Centaur, which is a fine green beater. But I'm sure we can find those later on. There's also, and the other option is Vidalcan Shackles, which is an awesome card. Doesn't go great with my first two picks though. And it's like Mind Shatter is decent, I suppose. I'm gonna take the Cradle. All right. So here we're looking at like rampy creature, and I mean those fit with like Cradle and Survival, right? Survival needs creatures to discard, and like so just like useful useful utility creatures work well there. So like they're great early to ramp you, and they also help the Gaia's Cradle ramp, and then you can later in the game you can discard them to survival to find something ridiculous. So I think I'm just gonna take one of those. There's also like Journey and Path, which might be fine. Like maybe I wheel one of these anyways. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Path here over the Journey. Instant speed and etc. Efficient removal. Alright, so options. Options are Godless Shrine, Engineered Explosives, Mother of Runes, Obstinate Baloth, Mind Sensor, Overgrown Battlement. I mean, all these cards are good. I'm not sure which one I want. Mother of Runes is pretty strong. Just protect your awesome creatures. I also really like Obstinate Baloth, especially with like Survival of the Fittest. Just because Mono Red is a deck that people are going to play. Like there's going to be one Mono Red per table, minimum, and you want ways of beating it. I don't know how good a pick this is, but I'm going to take it. The other option is like Godless Shrine. Because like one way of abusing Survival is like Reanimator, and that would, like white-black, lets me move in on that Reanimator. That's where all the reanimation is, in black. Geist is a fun one. It's pretty powerful against some decks, not so much against others. It puts us into blue as a third color. I could just take an Oblivion Ring, which is a reasonable card. There's also Strangleroot Geist. Not sure how great that is, though. I don't know if I'm necessarily green-white beat down, though. I guess Guy's Cradle wants early creatures. But I'm gonna take the safer pick with Oblivion Ring here. So options are Tooth and Nail, Sculler, Stomping Grounds, Behemoth Sledge. Take the Stomping Ground just to enable some splashing later on. Or I can take Tooth and Nail, which is something to ramp into, perhaps, if I'm on that path. Sculler's okay, but I don't know about that. There's also, like, Behemoth Sledge might be okay, but there's, like, as far as equipment goes, I think you can find better. I don't know how great that is. It's a bit of a speculative pick. We're gonna take the Tooth and Nail here. Could be way off with that one. I'm not gonna lie. Day of Judgment, Caracas, and Stone Cloaker. Of those, what do I want? Caracas seems like it could be good, just as a value land. The format doesn't seem too chock full of legends, but there are some. It's more for your opponent's legends. I don't know how many combos there are with legends of our own. Stone Cloaker's a nice one. I'm just gonna take the Day, though. And here, I guess I take the Grove. The Arid Mess is interesting as well. Like, especially if you end up with like an actual duel that counts as both lands, it could end up fixing this even better than Sunpetal Grove. But I think for now, I just take the Sunpetal Grove since I'm straight white green at the moment. So Halberial is nice. Search for Tomorrow is nice, and then there's Breeding Pool. Get dual land here. This might be a good time to pick up a Breeding Pool, but if I'm ramping, maybe I just want like Search for Tomorrows. There's also Halberial if I'm actually going to be like a control deck here, but I already have the Day. I'm going to take the Search. If I'm ramping, I really, I guess, got to be ramping, right? I don't know. Not really sure what direction we're going in with. We have a few options. I only have one creature, which kind of sucks for survival for now. But here's a second one. I'll take the Centaur here. And yes, we did wield the Devoted Druid. And Spellcate's nice too, but I think I want the ramping creature. And here's the utility guy, I guess. I don't know about this Grim Backwoods. A good sideboard card at worst, and it's on color. So I mean, right now, Guy's Cradle's not looking at its best. That could change, though. I mean, there's still so many. Since there's just so many playables, it seems like even if you don't have a great direction from pack 1, you have so much time to catch up. Assuming you're in the right color combinations. I think we saw enough, at least white, to know that we're likely going to at least get white in pack 3. So options here are Johnny Vengeant, Mirror Entity, or yeah, I don't think I like the other options. I'm just going to take a Johnny. Johnny's awesome. Planeswalkers are good. Though, I mean, Mirror Entity is pretty powerful. Especially if I can, like, survival it up. I have, like, Decree of Justice. Yeah, I'm just taking a Johnny. Screw that. Alright, so some powerful options yet again. I mean, Monolith, I should say. I also like Monolith. Not in this format necessarily, but Monolith. Decent ramp card. There's Revelark, which I love. There's Oracle. Another decent ramp guy. Armageddon, Chain Lightning. There's a Taiga as well. Huh. Probably gonna wheel something decent out of this pack. This is where like inexperience of the format haunts me a bit because I just don't know what I can expect to wheel. Like, is Revelark? Does Revelark have a chance of wheeling? What has the most chance of wheeling? I have no clue. I'm gonna take Revelark. I think I really like Revelark. I have survival to. He can be very good with survival. She, I don't know. Seems pretty genderless. Alright, so I can just take random 2-drop that has value. Spectral Procession could be good. I might go with the Gaia's Cradle. You know, we're gonna take Spectral Procession. Not sure about this. There's also Verdant Catacombs, which might be good. Elder, I think Elder has a good chance of wheeling. I do like having ways of dealing with artifacts and enchantments that are still, like, non-blanks when they don't have something. Like, for example, a creature is never a blank. I don't have anything for, like, Academy Rector, do I know? Oblivion Ring, I guess. Alright, so there's some good cards here. Amongst them is Living Death. That'd be kind of fun with survival. But moving in on the black seems a little greedy here. There's some very good cards for me on my end as well, like Tarmogoyf, Akroma, and Master of the Wild Hunt. And even the Scorn Villagers could be okay. I'm actually going to go with Tarmogoyf. Just he's the cheaper guy of them all, and I think there's a good chance I wheel like Villagers, Akroma, or Master, one of the three, depending on what other archetypes are at the table. Wonder how good Lotus Bloom is. I don't know. Goblin, what does this do again? This card's okay. Other options are like random burn spells. This is a Broodmage Dragon. I don't think I can think of supporting that. I think I'm just taking the Stirring Wildwood though. Manland seems good, and it's a fixer. Thornling's okay, I guess, right? No better than okay. So what do we have? We've got like land tax. We've got Pilgrim Outpost. Some other random cards. All's Dust. Okay, but I'm gonna take the Pilgrim here. I think that's what we want. Temple Garden or Tribe Elder. I'm actually not sure about this. I mean, Temple Garden doesn't take a slot in my deck, but I might be wanting to ramp some more here. And this is also a fixer. Sphinx is a good reanimator target, but I think I'm off target for that. There's also Thalia, which isn't bad. That's just a beater, but I'm going to take Sakura Tribe Elder. I'm really not sure. Alright, so we've got Route, Pulse, Wood Elves. Even like Banefire here is an option. I have no idea what's going on with my deck. Banefire's probably good. I better just make a pick. I took the Wood Elves. I really don't know, though. Oh, Mirror Entity came back. Mirror Entity is actually getting very good in our deck, so I think that's the easy snap up. Yeah, we got, like, now we have the spectral procession too. We got a lot more creatures than we did when we previously saw them. And again, with survival of the fittest, could be powerful. So a lot of stuff came back here. So we're thinking about either Monolith, Armageddon, or Dryad. Well, no, Dryad's not very good in my deck. So it's between, I think I'm going to take the Armageddon here. I'm looking less like a ramp deck and more maybe like just a beatdown deck. I don't know how good of a beatdown deck I am, though. Well, maybe pack 3 will help us there. I'm going to take the Elder here. This one's close. I might want access to a Chroma instead of just taking the Scornville or another rampy creature. I've got a lot of rampy creatures and not much to ramp into, so maybe I'll take a Chroma here. I'm not sure about that. Here I'll take Thornling. Although Goblin Trenches reasonably powerful. Actually, Outpost might end up being good. Better than just a random 4-drop. Ooh, Valley of 15th pick. I mean, maybe this white-green beatdown deck is going to be the way to go. So if I'm white-green beatdown, this is not the greatest of swords. If it was another sword, I'd think about it. But here, the way my deck's shaping up, I think Hero of Bladehold is what I want. Like, ramping into, like, turn 3 Hero of Bladehold's pretty sweet. Yeah. Yeah, some good cards for us here. 8.5 tails. I actually think there's a good chance 8.5 tail wheels. Condemn's fine, but I think I'm just taking Garuk. Another Planeswalker. Good with all the tokens. Can also support the ramp. I don't know how much ramping I'll be doing by the end of this. So, what do we have here? We've got Kadama's Reach, Wooded Foothills, Yosei, Wormcoil Engine. I think I can wheel the Vanguard at minimum. I don't think I'd take Vanguard, even though that might be the direction I'm going. I still have plenty to ramp with, so maybe just taking one of these big ramp targets is fine. Do I prefer Yosei or Wormcoil? I think I prefer Wormcoil Engine. I mean, it's very good against both spectrums of decks. Like aggressive decks, the life gain's very good. Control decks, it's hard to kill. So I think, yeah, I think I like the Wormcoil Engine here. I actually might want... Wow, there's actually a lot of good cards here for me. It's decision time. There's Nacatl, Plateau, and Swords to Plowshares. All reasonable options. I have to figure out how much I'm beating down. How reliably I'm beating down, or do I just take, like... Nacatl over Swords just seems so wrong. I have some removal already. I have, like, Path to Exile. I'm going to take this Nacatl. It'll be fine in my deck no matter what. Might want the Plateau also, but... So we're looking at Mirren Crusader. Stunted growth is reasonable. And then Savannah. I've been neglecting the dual lands, but it's because of my mana. Seems like it's going to be very good. Even with like a Johnny splashed, I have these like Sakura Tribe Elders, Search for Tomorrows. I mean, Wood Elves would have been nice with one of these duels, but I think I just take the Mirren Crusader here because I think I'm just beating down. In the end, I think Devil's Play makes some sense. Give me some reach. So Realm Razor versus Soltari Priest. Soltari Priest is a good beater. Yet again. Talking about those beaters. I don't know, I feel like maybe Realm Razor. This is gonna be still tough to cast. I'm somewhere, and again, I'm somewhere in between here. I'm like beating down while ramping, at least a little bit. Yeah, I'll take the Realm Razor. This is an odd deck. I'll take Black Flies here. I don't think I main deck it, but it might be something I side into against something really slow. Take the Daybreak Ranger. Not sure how good this card is in this format. I could also take a Grafted Wargear. Grafted Wargear might be fine. Actually, you know what? I think actually Grafted Wargear's just better for my deck. It seems really good on a Crusader, too. Alright, so 8.5 Tails is what came around. I'm just going to take that. Seems better than Sideboard Ancient Grudge. I don't think I'm playing this card. How good's Nostalgic Dreams? Not great. Just take this guy, but I don't know how good he is when I can't regenerate him. Take the Battle Sphere here. I actually might play it, depending on how my build ends up. I'm not sure exactly how I'm building this. I've got to look at it laid out. I have to figure out my balance of beating down and ramping. Because I'm definitely have some combination of the two in this deck. I mean, the best things that I can do seem to revolve around getting some board presence and then Armageddoning or Realm Razoring or Janning their mana. Like I don't know if I'm ramping so much that I want like Tooth and Nail and a Chroma, but I don't know how I've actually in a few of the drafts I've done. Shelldog Isle came really late, but Shelldog Isle is really good in 40 card formats. I mean, if I was blue, I'd be happy to take this much earlier. Not really sure why it's wheeling so late. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got. These are cards I definitely want to play. This is like, if I just think I need another 2-drop. Survival I'm still playing for sure. And all these, what else? Seems mediocre, but it's a bit odd. I don't even think I'm playing the day. So I think this is the core, and we gotta just make some cuts, figuring out like how much do I need to ramp, how many ramp targets, like how many things to ramp into do I need, how effective is my beatdown plan, and that's gonna like how effective my beatdown plan is going to change how much I want to ramp. I don't know. I don't think my beatdown plan's all that effective. I just don't have too many aggressive 2-drops. So let's sort it out here. Probably treating this more as like a 4 in most cases. Thornling. I don't know. I guess Thornling's fine. So cards I'm thinking about cutting are like Wood Elves. Am I playing Gaia's Cradle in this deck? I think so. Wait, am I forgetting some X-Spells here? I am. Yeah, I want a Devil's Play and Decree here. So I actually have more cards to cut. So, Okay, let's get rid of this Grafted War here. I don't think this is what I want in this deck. These cards are all pretty untouchable. Let's sort things out here. There's removal, survival, ramp stuff goes here, although the rest of the ramp stuff is all creature-y. So there's not a ton ramp, but there's a decent amount. I might cut this Thornling. Definitely like Revelark. Kind of like Mind Sensor. It can randomly hate on, like, even just fetch lines. There's quite a few cards that search in the format. I don't know. What the hell am I cutting here? I mean, survival's it's not. This is not the greatest survival deck of all time, but I think it's too good not to play. It's too powerful not to play. Jeez, I have no clue. I also have no clue if this deck is any good at all. Seems like I can't cut the removal. Maybe I cut the Elder. I mean, I definitely like the Elder. I want to be able to kill artifacts and enchantments, and I have a survival too. So yeah, I don't think I can cut that. I think all my 4-drops are actually cards I want in my deck. Now let's continue going through things here. 8.5. Like, how good is 8.5 tails? Pretty good, I think. Definitely like the Entity. I guess Mind Sensor is potentially cuttable. Wood Elves maybe is cuttable. It's the worst of my ramp creatures, I think. I do like the Mirror Battlesphere. I think I like all these guys. I don't think I want to touch these. So maybe I just start by cutting these, because they're the only cards I could think about cutting so far. This deck might be horrible. I think I want to cut 2 more cards. I'm definitely more mid-range than aggro. You guys let me know what I should be doing here, because I clearly don't. And I feel like Devil's Play just for the reach. I don't like. It's not going to be very often I'm going to reach three red sources. In fact, I may not even have 3 red sources in my deck. Alright, I'm going to cut this Elder. We'll slide into it if I need it. I want to cut a 4-drop, and I think I like Centaur better, just in this deck. And then I need to make one more cut. I'm not cutting Survival. Survival's too powerful. And with Survival, I definitely want the Realm Razor. I feel like that's pretty powerful, just having access to Realm Razor off of Survival. If I've got the lead on the board. Definitely like the Mirror Entity here. One more cut. Gotta do this quick. I have no clue. Just no clue what to cut. Part of me is saying Devil's Play, but I don't think so. Maybe just search for Tomorrow's. It's gonna make it a little harder to find that mountain. I just have like a Tribe Elder to help. Okay, well, I think we're just gonna go with that. Do I play Outpost? Probably. Probably should. Okay. Add lands. I may have just butchered this build. I really don't know. I'm clearly a little lost. So 6/5. I have 2 white-green sources, so this is, and then I have an extra plains here. So maybe I'm gonna cut 1 plains and add a 3rd mountain. Just 'cause I have so few ways of finding it, and the red's pretty important, and plus that gives me the off chance of the very slim chance of flashing back Devil's Play late in the game. So we'll try this out, and I have a feeling I'll be fidgeting a bit between rounds.